Hey Tangage, it's Mike, it's Boom, however you know me, if you guys know me. Anyway, I'm going to be making another cooking vlog for you. Sorry if the camera's really awkward. As you could probably tell, the light is right above where the camera is. Anyway, I got a lot of great responses from my last cooking vlog, and I'm going to be cooking again tonight, so I thought might as well, do another one for you. Why not? Just what I'm doing tonight anyway. Thought it'd be a little easy. So tonight I am making a mushroom onion gravy. A mushroom onion gravy, it's a beef broth based sauce. The only reason why it's a gravy is just the consistency of it. But it really works well with pretty much any kind of red meat. I'm making it for tomorrow, for my shepherd's pie that I'm making tomorrow. Maybe I'll make a vlog for it, I don't know. But it basically goes with like any kind of red meat. Like you're gonna go like even with a steak, it goes great with any kind of potato, anything that's like really rich and delicious. And you just want to make it that much more fancy and rich and delicious. I will say first of all, this recipe does contain red wine. So for those of you out there who are not of legal age, consult your parents first. If you're going to make this. There is an old wives' tale that if you cook with alcohol, you burn the alcohol out. That's a half-truth. You actually cook most of the alcohol out, but you actually never cook all of it out. Which, I mean, even you cook like 90% of it out, sure, for someone that's underage, maybe that's like, okay for parents. But when you're talking about like things where it's like, a contradiction to someone's medication, maybe you want to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so, mushroom onion gravy. Things that you need. You need a chopped half of an onion. There you go. And 227 grams of mushroom, or 8 ounces of mushrooms, if you may, depending on where you live and your metric system. Or non-metric. Obviously, when you talk about cooking, you can do whatever you want with it. I love mushrooms, so I'm having a bit more mushrooms. I love onions, still going to go with the regular amount of onions, just because I love mushrooms more, want to have a more mushroomy flavor. Other things you will need for this dish. Let's go down here. I have these little, little cups for everything. You will need 3 tablespoons of flour. You'll need 3 tablespoons of oil. Whatever oil you want, you can do a vegetable oil, a canola oil. You don't want to use a extra virgin olive oil because that has a heating rate that is a lot lower than other oils. You want just like a regular kind of oil. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, I'll take my oil and I'll put it in my pot. I know I use pots for everything. What can you say? Done. You're also going to need a cup of red wine. Delicious. And you'll need 2 cups of beef broth. That's the thing. It's like if you think about like if you're ever going to make a sauce or a gravy that uses any type of broth. If you're using something that's like meant for red meat or made for beef, use a beef broth. If you're gonna make like a turkey gravy for Thanksgiving, use a turkey broth. Pretty simple if you think about it that way. So, just heating up my oil. Don't even have like my wooden spoon. I know people made fun of me last time because I used a wooden spoon. I love wooden spoons. Regardless. So I'm just going to throw my mushrooms into the pot. Oh, that got a little splatter. I don't know if you can hear that. So some tips on how you clean mushrooms before you cut them up and cook them. Never dump them in water, because if you dump them in water, they will lose its aroma. You know how the shape of a mushroom is, and it's almost like an undercurl, and then that's where the spores are? That's why you don't want to dunk them in water, because that's where the aroma is. That's where like most of the flavor is. So you don't want to do that. Personally, I'm going to throw the onions in now because it's sort of hot in here. So it's time to do this. But I'll talk about it in a minute. Alright, just make sure you give it a good stir. This takes a few minutes. Alright, so back to mushrooms. There are actual, like, mushroom brushes to clean them with. I don't have one, you don't need one. I find the easiest way to do it is, oh my lordy. Easiest way to do it is, take a paper towel. Wet, just so lightly wet, just basically damp, half of the towelette. And then, use that half to clean the mushroom, and then you use the dry half to quickly take away all the excess moisture from it. Right? I know it looks like it's steaming a lot, but that's okay. That's, you know, you're basically just sauteing it. Alright. Now, some people have issues with cutting onions. I know I do. I've heard a lot of wise tales about, like, you know, hey, cut onions and don't cry. I always cry. I can't avoid it. It's like in my genetics that I do it. Oh well. Personally, what I do is, like, I just cut them, and then I take a step out of the room, and I come back, and I'm good to go, you know what I mean? But a little trick that I know of how to make it easier to actually cut a whole onion is to take off, well, I mean, after you take off, like, the outer layer, and then even maybe the first layer inside, depending on how old your onion is, I cut off just like a little sliver of the bottom, so that way I have a flat surface to actually cut on. So it doesn't roll around when I'm cutting it. Like, it is flat, and it's really easy to do my chops up and down and everything. Makes life a lot easier if you just do that little step first. So the thing about mushrooms is that mushrooms will absorb oil when you cook them, which is all okay. Through cooking them, the oil will come out. So if you notice that there isn't as much oil as you originally put in because you put mushrooms in, don't worry, that oil is still there. Don't add more. You're just going to have a really oily sauce or whatever you're making, even a stir fry. It will just be like oily as hell. So we're coming along here with mine. Giving it a good stir. Oh my lordy. I know, I'm always that horrible chef. I always spill right over. And, you know, I have really, like, callous fingers, so I can just touch things. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Anyway. So it's looking pretty decent right now. You know, it's looking pretty tasty. You do have your excess oil in there. And this is the time that you throw in your flour. The flour calls for the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons. I do a bit less. I don't think you need so much. You just basically want enough to coat. So I definitely have that plus more, personally. But you'll notice that the reason that you want this much is because it's for later use of how much you want to have your gravy thickened. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't care. Anyway, after you put that in, you literally just stir it around, make sure everything is coated evenly, and slowly add your wine as you continue stirring. The reason why you add the wine first before the beef stock is because basically it's for flavoring. You want the flavors to penetrate the mushrooms first. So if you want, I guess, like a more beefy flavor, you could add the beef stock first. But personally, I think because you're not even using that much wine compared to beef stock, you know, it's all good if you use the wine first. Right, just make sure, like, the whole bottom isn't sticking. Just keep stirring. I mean, first of all, let's see right here. Look at that. How honestly, like, that looks delicious. Like, that is superb already. Alright. So you have your sauce. It's already, like, pretty thick because of your flour. And then, again, slowly add in your beef stock. Until you have it all in. There are a lot of ways to thicken a sauce. You don't just have to use flour. People use cornstarch. But if you're using cornstarch, just don't throw cornstarch in like you did the flour. If you want to use cornstarch, mix it in first with, like, let's say you're putting in like a tablespoon of cornstarch. First, mix it in with a tablespoon of water, of cold or lukewarm water. Even cold would be better. Because if you just add it in right into like a hot sauce or a hot anything, it won't congeal properly. You'll have like chunks of it in there. Not really the best. Obviously, you can avoid it if you want by just continuously mixing. But I mean, just makes life a little bit easier if you don't have to take the extra step. Just add them with a little bit of water. You know, makes life that much more delicious. What else did I forget to talk about? I don't know. This is a good time to add your salt and pepper. Again, I'm not like a big salt person. I love my pepper. I'm not a big salt person. So I'm just going to add it in right now. I know it looks like a lot. It did. But it's not, because you have a lot of sauce right here. I don't think you realize how much you have. And that's basically your gravy. I mean, at the end of the day, I know it looks really purple. It looks really purple. But amazing and delicious all at the same time. Yeah, basically the last part is just like cooking it for like 10 minutes. I mean, it really depends how much you, like, what consistency you want it. If you want it to be really thick sauce, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, let it boil down. If you want it to be like a nice runny sauce, you know, then you're pretty much good to go as it is right now. Not as it is right now. You want it to boil first. There is a whole thing about when it like does boil, that means that all the flavors have mixed in more so than the minute before it has boiled. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty much my sauce. Like I said, you can use it on any kind of red meat food. I'm making a shepherd's pie tomorrow. I have my beef defrosted in the freezer, or in the fridge right now. It's there. I swear it's in the fridge. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was pretty fast. Wow, this vlog went longer than I thought. I thought it'd be really short. Sorry? If you want to watch it, I don't know. I talked a lot of shit, because, you know. Oh, jeez. But like I said, I mean, I personally like to make a really thick gravy. Why not? I do enjoy making this the night before, because I feel like it's harder to tell the consistency of the gravy once it cools, because of the flour in there. But so I feel like if I do put it in the fridge and then, you know, I defrost, or not defrost, but like I put it in the fridge and then I'll like put it in the microwave afterwards, I can control. If it's too thick, I can add a little bit of beef broth. If it's, you know, too watery, I just cook it for longer. Either way, you have a delicious sauce that really goes with everything. Probably gonna cheap out tonight and make a pizza. Probably gonna use this on the pizza. Delicious. Alright, Engaged. Yeah. I hope you enjoy this food because I can't wait to eat it in like 10 minutes, but there's no point for me being here with you guys for 10 minutes. And make sure to stir because you don't want anything burning on the bottom. Have a good time. Bye. All right, see you guys.